Hey guys, today I'm just doing a basic get ready with me. This is my everyday makeup, so let's just jump right into it. Okay, I am going to start with the Maybelline Master Prime Primer, Blur and Smooth. This is in 100. It's not a color, it's just like this white primer. I just take about a pea-sized amount, really big pea, maybe 2 pea sizes, and I just rub that all over my face. Sorry if the lighting's a little weird. I'm sitting in front of the window, but I can't have the camera right in front of me because my desk is right there, so it's kind of on the side. So this is the CoverGirl True Blend Liquid Makeup. I just got this. I really like it so far. This is in L7, I believe. I7, I think it's an L. Warm beige. I just take 1 pump of this and I just put it all over my face. I have really been liking this. It's not as full coverage as the Maybelline Fit Me, which is what I used to use. This is a little bit lighter coverage, but I got this because my Fit Me foundation is too light for me at the moment, and this is a little bit darker. So I'm just going to blend this out with a damp sponge. And I haven't really done a makeup video on my channel yet. I did film one probably a couple weeks ago, but I was really out of all of my products and it was just kind of silly to post a makeup video with like no makeup. So I went out and grabbed a couple new things, so that's what I'm using in this video. So yeah, I filmed this while Olivia was taking a nap in the next room, and I would have done a talk through tutorial, except for I did not want to wake her up because I wanted to be able to actually film this. So the next thing I'm using is the Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflaging Concealer. This is in the shade 10 Fair. I really like this concealer, but if you don't set it with the powder, it does crease in your under eye area. So I make sure to set it with a powder. This kind of balances out the darkness of the foundation because this is a pretty light shade for concealer. So I kind of use this in all the areas that I would normally highlight. Even though I didn't do any highlighting in this video, but it kind of helps just brighten up some of the areas that are darker. One of the issues I've always had with my skin is that it's very, very uneven. There's parts of my skin that are one shade, and then there's parts of my skin that are 3 shades lighter, and there's redness, and there's just all sorts of crazy stuff going on with my face. So I always had a hard time choosing foundations that matched my skin, and I've always kind of had to mix and match. So using a little bit of a darker foundation and a lighter concealer, I've found is what works for me. I also don't put a lot of product around the outside of my face, like around my forehead and my chin and my jawline, because I don't have a lot of unevenness there. It's just that that part of my skin is darker, and so I just kind of leave that alone. I don't have any blemishes really in that area. They're all more towards the center of my face, and the redness is on my cheeks and around my nose. So anyway, the next thing is the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. This is in 741A translucent. It's just a translucent powder. This stuff is cheap and it goes a long way. I mean, I can literally probably buy one of these a year. That's how much product is in here. It's a really good just basic setting powder. I like that it's not too fine. It doesn't just blow away into the air. I use this every day to set my whole face. And this just makes sure that my foundation and my concealer don't just slide off by the end of the day. I also tend to get a little bit oily, so this keeps things in check. So I really like that product. I definitely recommend that it's super cheap. I think it's only like a couple bucks at Target. So I like that to set my foundation and powder. The next thing I'm using is the L'Oreal True Match Powder. This is in the shade W2 Light Ivory. I'm using this powder just because I had a little bit more redness on my skin today. I don't know if it's from the weather or just hormones. I am due to get my period any day now, so I tend to get a little bit more red different times of the month, and so I just use this to kind of neutralize out the redness. Since the other powder is just translucent, it doesn't offer a lot of coverage. So this is just a little bit more coverage for today. The next thing I'm using is Benefit's Hoola Bronzer. This is, oh, now I'm doing a little dance. This is definitely one of my favorite bronzers. I really like the color, and I really like how easy it is to blend. Before I got this bronzer, everyone was always raving about it. Oh, I'm using a Real Techniques sculpting brush here. I just got this one from Ulta. I like that it's not too thin. It does a lot of the work for you. It's pretty easy to blend out, especially with the Hoola bronzer being kind of like a creamier powder. It's just super easy to blend, so I really like using this product with this brush. Anyway, people were always saying how much they love this bronzer and how I had to get it, and I didn't believe them because it's a little bit on the pricier side, and I tend to go with more drugstore makeup over high-end if I can get away with it, because there's a lot of dupes that I think work just as well, but I have not found a really good dupe for the Hoola bronzer, so I guess that's why everybody recommends it and why everybody uses it. So I pretty much use this stuff every day, and I've had it for a while now. I've probably had it for over 6 months and I haven't hit pan, so that tells you how much product you really get in there. So now I'm just going to use a small fluffy blush brush. This is just an angled brush. This is an iBeauty B104 brush, I believe. And I'm using this with the Milani blush. This is in Romantic Rose, #1, Romantic Rose. So this was gifted to me, this blush, and I like it. It's kind of a muted color. It's not super bright. And I tend to not like to have super red cheeks just because I already have some natural redness in my cheeks, so I don't like to go overboard. So this is just a nice color for fall. It adds a little bit of warmth without having that super like red rosy glow. It's just like a very subtle glow. And I tend to like blushes that are a little bit more on like the rose gold side as opposed to just like the red types of blushes. So the next thing I'm using is an e.l.f. eyebrow pencil. It's got a spoolie on one side and the product on the other side. This is in the shade Deep Brown. I bought this because it was super, super cheap. It was just a couple dollars, and I ran out of my Anastasia Brow Wiz, so I just went ahead and got this as kind of what I thought would be like a dupe. It's not, because the crayon side of this is not thin. It's not thin enough to create hair-like strokes, so you just have to kind of draw on your brows where you think they're going and then kind of use the spoolie to clean it up a little bit and make it look like less crazy filled in, because if you are heavy-handed with this, you will have super like Sharpie looking brows. So I'm just using this right now because I don't have a Brow Wiz, because they are a little bit expensive, but this works for me just fine. I am kind of liking the natural brow look lately, so I don't need to have those super sharp lines that has kind of just been in season lately. I've just been letting my brows grow out and kind of just rocking the natural look. I do have extremely dark brows. They're actually black. So, but there are gaps in my brows that I need to fill in. So that's where this definitely comes in handy. I definitely overplucked my brows when I was younger, just because that's kind of the style that was in, and that's what I thought looked good. Little did I know. So the next thing I'm using, and I'm literally out of this product, but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel. This is in the shade Brunette, and what I like about this product is that it actually paints your brows. So like I said, I have black eyebrows, and this product makes my eyebrows appear brown, and I really like that. My hair is really dark, but I do like to have my eyebrows looking a little bit lighter than my hair. I just prefer that look. So this definitely softens things up a little bit, as you can see here. It also helps to fill in some of those gaps that I didn't want to fill in with the e.l.f. pencil just because it's so, so dark. So I really like this. I actually prefer when this is a little bit less empty because when you first get it and you put it on, it's just a lot of product on the spoolie and you only need a little tiny bit. So I will definitely use this until it's gone because it almost gets better the more you use it. So I really like this product. The next thing I'm using is the Anastasia, what is this? This is a Pro Pencil, eyeshadow primer and color corrector. This is in base 1. It's just kind of this pinky color. I use this to clean up my eyebrows. This is the easiest thing I found instead of putting concealer on a flat brush or something like that. I just use this to clean up underneath and just make them look a little bit nicer and make them look like I put in a little bit more effort. And then I also like to use this as an eyeshadow base, which you will see me do right now. And this is super easy. You don't have to dirty up a brush to use it. You just kind of draw all over your eyelid and under your eyebrow, and there you go. Also, I dropped the lid, so that's why I was bending down. So then I'm just going to blend it out with my finger before I go in with shadow over it. I like to use a base or primer just to bring out the pigment. So this is an It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette, and this was also gifted to me by the same friend, actually. I really, really like this palette. There's some good warm tones, some cool tones, and then there's this pearlescent shade, which makes all of the colors into shimmers because I think they're all matte colors. Yeah, they're all matte, and so there's this shimmer shade that you can add to make it shimmery. So this is just an eyeshadow brush. It's a fluffy one, and I'm starting with the shade All Heart. I'm trying to show you guys, but I'm really struggling. So this is the shade All Heart. It's kind of like a mauve-y, pinky, purple shade. So I'm using this, just putting it on my brush and tapping it off once to get off the excess, and then I'm putting this on top of my lid and a little bit up into the crease, but I'm not going too crazy far up with this because this is an everyday look. And I found that lately, I prefer to just keep my shadows close to my eyeballs as opposed to bringing them all the way up to my eyebrow like I normally would. I think this is just because of the shape of my eyes naturally. This kind of helps my eyes look more round, whereas when I put the shadows up into my crease and blend them out really far, it makes my eyes look even more kind of squinty and almondy than they already are. So I like to do this is just, you know, what I'm liking right now. So now I'm just taking a smaller flat brush. This is just a Bare Essentials brush. I don't even know where I got this brush from. But I'm taking the shade Violet, which is up there. You can see it's kind of like a purple shade. It's a little bit less pink and more purple than the shade that I just took, which was All Heart. And I am just putting this on the lower part of my lid. You can see I'm really concentrating it right on the lash line there in the center. And I just like the way that this gives the look a little bit more dimension. And I'm really liking the purples for fall. Normally I would go with more of an orangey, browny shade, but I'm liking purples right now. I've always liked purples because when I first started doing makeup, I was told that purples accentuated brown eyes, and I do have brown eyes. So I always like to do purples on my eyes, so that's just what I was feeling. I also do like to do a lot of like warm orangey shades in the fall, but today I went with purple. So I'm taking the same brush and I'm mixing the shades Sunrise and Sunset, and these are those warm orangey shades. Sunrise is that lighter shade, it's more yellow. Sunset is that more red, orange, kind of terracotta-y shade. And so I'm just mixing these two together with the same brush that has the violet on it, and I'm putting this under my eye, and I really like the dimension that this gives. I like to use kind of orangey shades underneath my eyes. I find that if you put purple on top and under your eyes, you can kind of end up with like this bruised eye look, and I didn't want that kind of look. So this kind of brightened things up a little bit. I also think this really accentuated the brown in my eyes. So it kind of plays off of the different colors that we're working with here. So now I'm going to curl my eyelashes, get a little crazy with my eyelash curler apparently. And I do the pulse thing. I used to just squeeze, but now I pulse. I don't think it really makes a difference. But I do always curl my eyelashes. I've always gotten a lot of compliments on my eyelashes, and really I don't think it's about my eyelashes. I think that anyone can have this kind of look. If you have, like, you know, average or above average eyelashes, I think the reason that people always compliment them is because I curl them and the way that I put mascara on, which you will see in a minute is a little bit interesting, but I saw a video one time of this guy. Oh, I'm being attacked by my eyelash curler. This guy putting on mascara and the way that he did it, and so I kind of like copy that now. So this is the L'Oreal Voluminous. I'm kind of struggling with how to show you guys. This is just original. This is not the waterproof. The waterproof is great, but it's really hard for me to get off waterproof mascara. I can barely read the label, so I'm trying to show you guys, and you definitely can't see it. But it says Black Brown M800. So this is not just black, this is black brown. I've been liking brownish or dark brown mascaras lately. I don't really know why. Most people use black normally. I would use black. But I like that this gives less of a harsh look to my eye. I no longer like the way black eyeliner looks, especially underneath in my waterline. I just think it's way too harsh for my eyes and it closes up my eyes. I didn't even put mascara on my upper lash line today, as you can see. I'm sorry, I didn't put eyeliner on. I usually use like a liquid liner, but I didn't today. I just skipped straight to my mascara. I don't know, I think it's kind of like brightens up my eyes a little bit. I'm looking at Olivia in the baby monitor. You see me looking over there, that's what I'm doing. So this is like my first real makeup tutorial, guys, so I hope you'll forgive me for like looking down into my little Sephora mirror, but this is the setup that I have right now, and I will just get better and better with practice. So I'm just putting this on my lashes. It takes forever. And when things get clumpy, I go from the top down. That's what I mean by putting it on kind of weird. I put it on the tops of my eyelashes as well as the bottom, and I feel like this just helps get a really good coat to my lashes. It doesn't push my eyelashes down like you kind of think that it would, but it just gets the product on both the top and the bottom of my lashes. Sometimes I also go like side to side, like I'll flip. See here, you can see I'm combing it from the top down. I'll flip the eyelash or the mascara wand vertical, and I'll go side to side, brushing them that way. So that way you have product on all sides of every single lash. But I didn't do that today. Normally I do that if I really want like a really heavy, dramatic, what am I doing? Okay, I'm trying to put mascara on my lower lashes without getting the top mascara onto my eyelid. So that's one of those things about this particular mascara that I found, that it's kind of easily transferable. If you put it on your upper lashes and then you like blink too much, it will transfer. So that is it, you guys. That is the final look. I hope you liked my very first makeup tutorial. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.